Good morning and welcome to Write With Me. I'm Danita Jones, and here we do two 25-minute sprints with a 5 to 10-minute break in between. This is basically your productivity hour. It's your chance to get it done before you start the rest of your day. Some people are here writing, I'm doing research. Some people even doing administrative work, but whatever you have chosen to do today, this is your time, this is your hour to get it done and get it in. I am, let's see, I started a little late today, so let's see, I didn't put in what I'm working on. I'm continuing my research. Peter Crosby and Pittsburgh Massacre. And then you can find more information about Peter Crosby in the description below. I was asked to be a contributor to enslaved.org, and so you can find his bio there in the description. And also, if you're interested in any writing tips, you can grab my guide. I'm putting it in the chat, the link to that, free.danitajones.com. Grab your free guide on writing tips. Okay. Oops. Let me say, can I edit that? Or is it, well, I would say tips. Cool. Alrighty. So I am on the testimony of Stephen Cox right now. And let's see here, getting everything pulled up. It's running a little late today, later than I normally am, but I still made it here on time, but I was just rushing. So I normally like to start getting my setup going at least 15 minutes before, hopping on. But I'm here and happy Friday. I'm gearing up for the weekend. So let's just get started. It is 6:33 and we'll go ahead and hit start. And again, welcome. Be an official. It's good for the election. Good morning, Yule. Welcome. Okay, time for our break. Welcome, Living Light. You said, I am so tired and went down the rabbit hole writing a corporate one sheet. Okay, then I remembered uh, I could be doing with some, yes, you could be doing it with some company. Cool. Well, welcome, Jerry. Glad that you're here. I am in the testimony or going over the testimony of Stephen Cox. He was a Black man that he was an election judge. And he's talking about what happened during the election in August of 1874, which will be so far the way I'm mapping everything out, covering that in my second book in the historical fiction series. Because a lot of things went down during this election in 1874 prior to the Vicksburg massacre that happened in December of 1874. It's really a precursor to all of the horrific events that happened. But he's discussing about stolen ballot boxes, people breaking in, throwing things out the window, throwing the ballot box out the window, him going out there, seeing that all the ballots were stolen and so forth. So um, he's giving a really great detail of what happened during that time. Jerry says that's really dramatic. It is. One of the other people that I went over, I'm blanking on his name now. I think it might have been George Walton, or either George Stiff. I think it's one of the Georges, who was also present during the August election, and he was the registrar. Let me see, which one is he? But he talked about jumping out of the window to get away from people during that time. Let's see, I think he is, no, let's see, George Stiff was the Justice of the Peace. So let's see, it might have been George Walton. Let's see. Okay, it was George Walton. He was the registrar. And so in his testimony that I went over last week, he talked about people came in shooting. He had to jump out of the window. He was there to help, the Black people register to vote. So it's a lot happened there, and it was all very dramatic, and it's going to be incredible scene work once I get to that. And right now, I'm looking at book one being about the election of Peter Crosby and everything that led up to that. And then about the other people that he was friends with that got indicted, some Black people, but it's I'm looking at how that progression will go, so setting up Peter Crosby and getting elected, and a lot of other Black people that got elected during that time. But book two, I'm looking at as everything that is surrounding the August election of 1874. And it's really, like I said, dramatic. Most of the stuff that happened during this time is completely dramatic and terrifying, And so I think that's why a lot of folks, when they have written about this time period, have made them into horror stories, because it's so horrific. But I'm writing this as a political thriller, and because it has every element of an incredible political thriller series. But it just happened to be a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of killings that happened during this time as well. So let's see. Yule says violence is their authority. I agree, and it's power. It's how they were trying to have power and control the areas. How they wanted to be able to ensure that white people stayed in office and Black people stayed out of office. It was a very harrowing time, to say the least. The break is almost over. Does anyone have any other comments or questions before we hop into the next 25 minutes? Just let me know. Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's get to it. Oh, let's see. Jerry says, like what has been happening in Minnesota, expressing unnecessary violence. Absolutely. And I'm going to, I know I haven't done a Substack in a while, but I'm going to put your full video of the political grief up on YouTube, and also another one from my series From Discord to Harmony. I'm going to put that, probably won't happen today, maybe over the weekend or by sometime Monday. I'm thinking I'm going to put up some more of the Discord from Harmony videos, because we are, it's been very devastating what's been going on lately. So just want to be able to address that. So, all right, well, let's get into our next sprint here. Hmm. Okay. Let's just see. So, we still got 10 minutes, but I just wanted to point out I've been using Notebook LM. And so, as I was going through the testimony of Stephen Cox, he mentions one of the people that were running for the election, a mayoral candidate, Mr. Kerry. And the way he was talking about him and and mentioning all the Black people that supported him, I was wondering, well, is he Black or not? And so first I asked Notebook LM to bring up any mentions of Mr. Carey, and it did, and it showed me like all the times that he's mentioned throughout all of the testimonies. And remember, this document that I'm going through is 500 pages long, and so it sorted out and found all the times that, and told me about his journey and so forth and what was mentioned about him. And it went into more details about how Carrie was really supported by the Black population. And so I wanted to know, well, is he Black? And is that why they were, because that was the ballot box that they were throwing out, basically, one of them at least. And so it's like, no, he just had a lot of support from the Black population, and also a lot of support from Peter Crosby. But it was great to be able to just type in those questions and for Notebook LM to just go through and find all the references to my questions and give me an answer. So um, I'm loving this aspect of it. And if you're doing historical fiction or doing massive projects that have a lot of detail, so far, I mean, I highly recommend it. I'm still learning a lot about it, but this is a great tool. Okay, that is it for today. How did it go for you guys? So, like I was mentioning earlier, how much I'm really digging this notebook LM to be able to, as I'm going through a testimony, like for instance with Stephen Cox, I started having questions about Mr. Carey, or anytime I've had like questions while I'm in the midst of going through someone's testimony. I love the fact that I can go over to Notebook LM and type in the question that I have, because it may not be listed in that particular testimony that I'm reviewing. And it can give me or scan and go over everything within the 500-page document, to let me know about if there's an answer to my question or not. And so I really am loving that. Yule says, awesome getting shit done early in the morning. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's why I do this, and I started out doing this at 5 a.m., which I still kind of miss, actually. I know I will be changing up my schedule starting in February, once I start teaching at Chapman. And I'm thinking about doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Write With Me's. Still at 6:30, I believe. But I do miss my 5 in the morning time. And because I like being able to get up early, get things done, and then if I want to lie back down, I can. And so now with the 6:30 time, I feel like once I'm up, I'm up. I just gotta get going with the rest of my day. So thank you so much for the congratulations on Chapman. Yes. So starting February, and I post the note. I don't know how many people actually get to see the postings that I do here on YouTube. There seems to always be kind of a delayed reaction. So I may start over the next week or so posting to let people know that starting in February, or at least for the whole semester from February to June, that I will just do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Write With Me. So does anyone have any questions about anything, any comments? Just drop it in the chat, and if not, I will wrap this up. But I will give a couple more minutes in order for you to drop anything, any questions or anything that you may have. Sounds like my voice is getting a little hoarse right now. So. Okay, so I don't see any questions or comments, so I'm just going to wrap it up. Again, happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back here next Monday, Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So again, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your day, and I will see you next week. Bye.